Do you guys object to men caring about body count? Would you object to a guy if he took quarrel with,
I got some input for this one.
No.
Oh my god.
So, I'll start again with Zombrie, and we'll go around the table. Go ahead.
Like, do you mean like a girl's body count or a guy's?
A what?
Like a girl's body count or a guy's?
Like, typically, women are totally entitled to prefer men who are not promiscuous or don't have a promiscuous past or have a low body count. I do tend to hear it a bit more from men who tend to prefer women with a low body count. Some women object to that. Do you object to men preferring women with a low body count? Do you think it's insecure, or do you...
No, I feel like it's not insecure because I feel like if you've been with like a lot of people, then men aren't gonna like take you serious.
Okay.
But yeah.
I feel like it's ridiculous just because, like, that's just in a place of judgment. Why are you trying to judge anyone? Like, I don't know. I think you should just have an open heart and open mind to anyone. And if you have, like, negative opinions, then, like, literally.
Didn't earlier in the conversation, though, you said you wouldn't date a guy who's shorter than you?
Yeah, but that's different than a body count because one is, like, you're
Probably
born with it, and one is, like,
choices you've made,
Yes.
which could indicate poor behavioral choices.
I don't see how it's bad. How is
Do you
body
think
count
that somebody
bad?
should be judgmental towards their partner or towards the person that they take seriously in a relationship?
No, that's why I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just body count in general, I just don't see where it's bad,
I think
what's the bad
that
thing
kind of
about
plays hand in hand with like the lack of standards, where it's like you just want someone to love you unconditionally because there's like a level of a lack of self-awareness. You're just like, please, whatever I am, love me as it is. But because you don't have standards for other people, then you hope that no one else has standards for your behavior. But in common society, we need standards to make sure that we filter people who might be dangerous or harmful to us or others.
That's valid. That's valid.
Speaking to a potential partner, I think it's valid to care about body count. Like, absolutely. Like, I don't think it's judgmental. I reject the premise that it's judgmental toward men or women, but especially for men, I think it's like a strange premise to like care and like get all up in like a tizzy, like if the same energy is not exchanged. So if you want to be with somebody that is not judgmental and they can be with whoever, then that's fine. But it completely is valid that I want a partner that I can rely on. I want a partner who I know will stay with me. And a lot of people find that proof in the pudding, which is their lifestyle. How many people have you been with? How long are your relationships? What was the context of your sexual or otherwise relationship? And I think that's important.
Kayla?
The question was like, what was it again?
Like, body count, should it matter? And then do you object to men caring about a woman's body count?
I think that it's stupid if the man has a high body count and they're like want someone with like a low body count. Like, it should be equal. Like, does that make sense? Don't like go searching for like someone with like a really low body count if you fucked like 100 girls. Like,
And do you
that's
find
not
that
valid.
that's kind of a common thing for men? Like, even
Yeah.
men who've had a promiscuous past, they prefer women
Yeah.
with low body counts.
So, like,
do you think
why
there's a
only you?
corresponding like women with? Do you think there's a corresponding like women with high body counts, like they're desiring men who are virgins?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so there's-
kind of like virginal men, but that's just a me thing.
Sure.
Word.
I don't necessarily object to men feeling some type of way about body counts because I personally am not gonna go around getting with any man, being in a relationship with any man that slept with everyone, because if you have this many body count, anyone can have you. Like, you have no standards for yourself. So I kind of understand if they would have some kind of standards for us, where it's like, I would hope you wouldn't fuck this many people or have this high of a body count.
Sure.
I mean, but then does body count defined of how many people you're going to sleep with in the future? Like, what if that was your past?
It's a good indicator. Can be a good.
I mean,
indicator.
it could be a red flag depending on how it's looked at. Yeah.
Can I have you scoot your mic?
I do this every time,
Your answer.
No, I agree with her that if somebody has standards and preference, then that's their standards and preference.
Okay.
The
Do you wanna-
CIA
you can answer.
I don't believe that should be a question partners ask each other at all to begin with.
Okay. So then you do object to men caring about body count.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't object to it. I'm on the same page.
Did you thoroughly answer? Did you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think men should care about another girl's body count.
Can I ask you, both of you, why? Like, why do you think that should not matter? Do you and do you think men are insecure if they would care about that?
I feel like it varies on the person. It can be from insecurity or it could not be. I personally, I guess I'm going to expose myself a little. My body count is a little high than I would like to, but the reason why it's high is because I talk to a lot of guys and I thought having sex with them would make them want to pursue me or take me on a date or something like that. So I guess that's why I'm saying like body count really shouldn't matter, if that makes sense.
Sure. What about you? Why? Why should body count not matter? Or
Probably the same reason as her. I feel like everyone has a past.
Sure.
And if you're getting into a relationship that you really want to be in, you guys shouldn't be worried about your guys' past at all.
Okay. And
No
do you think it's
judgment.
insecure if a guy prefers a woman with a low body count?
Yeah, I do think it's insecure
Okay.
from personal experience.
Carmen, did you answer?
Yeah, I said I don't object to
Okay.
it. And
Yeah. I don't object to it.
I had the unfortunate bad habit of asking guys for their body count, which would oftentimes surprise them. But yeah, no, I think that it's very important for both men and women. And I think that it needs to be within the same range, where if you're a man who's had sex with a bunch of women, don't aim for a virgin because you're going to abandon her the moment you end up hypothetically having children with her. They oftentimes are more likely to cheat. They're more oftentimes to give more attention to women and normalize the idea of, oh, an affair is just something men do. It's no big deal. They have no consideration for the emotional needs of their wife. Likewise, a woman having sex with a lot of guys can indicate, hey, if we're having marital problems, you might start to emotionally fancy another man and then be led astray.
Okay. So, a couple follow-up things here. I wanted to address your thing where you said, well, if a guy who has a high body count, it would be maybe hypocritical or a double standard for him to desire in a partner a woman who has a low body count.
Yes.
So I disagree with that. I actually don't have any issue with a man who has a high body count desiring a woman with a low body count. And I don't have an issue with a woman with a high body count desiring a man with a low body count. I tend to think that women with high body counts probably are much less likely to desire sexual purity in men, but that is certainly what I think is evolutionary and a biological difference between men and women. But what I would ask you is, when it comes to, well, if you've had a high body count, then you can't desire women with a low body count, or it's hypocritical. It might be hypocritical, for example, if a man with a high body count was out, or who is promiscuous shamed women for their promiscuity. Now, again, I do think there are some differences between men and women when it comes to that. But overall, I would agree there, if he's like shaming women for their behavior, but he's partaking in said behavior, that would meet the actual definition of hypocrisy. But I don't think it's hypocritical to not possess a trait and desire said trait in a partner. For example, I would argue that women desire a wide variety of traits in partners that they themselves do not possess. So for example, a woman who's not funny may very well desire a man who's funny. A woman who's short may very well desire a man who's tall. A woman who has no money, she may very well desire to date a man who's exceptionally wealthy. A woman who has no status, she might want to date a man who has a lot of status. A woman who's not a professional athlete would very much like to date a professional athlete. So I don't think it makes you hypocritical to desire, need you possess a trait in order to desire that trait in a partner? And I think the answer is no.
I just think it's hypocritical because, why do you want someone with very little sexual experience? Why do you want to commit to
Because
someone
men,
lot of
value
reasons.
chastity.
but you
reasons.
have a lot of sexual experience and the other person doesn't?
I'd also-
You wanna
But why do
get-
broke women want to date rich men? You're not
Why
rich.
do broke men want to date rich women?
They don't.
But
Yes, they do.
not-
I beg to differ. My ex was. I beg to differ.
Look, I'm sure you have a few examples. I have no doubt about that. But for the most part, men don't really care. And if you're a broke man who's going for a rich woman, it's just bum behavior. But men and women are different. We have different sort of interests. So I'm going to really value the chastity of a woman, whereas women might value that. And if they value that so much that they can't look past it, then I fully agree with your with your standards as well. If you're a woman who has a very low body count and you say, I don't want a man who has a high body count, then absolutely.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yeah, each to their own. But I do think that they value different things. Like Brian just said, women value men with resources. We don't particularly care about that. Women value height, strength, competence, capability, all of these sort of things. We don't really care about that. One of the things we really do care about, though, is chastity. Is to know that we're somewhat exclusively, I've had your body, and not too many other people.
I would also say that although men can desire chastity in a woman, it's very rare for a woman who does value chastity with a low body count or a virgin to ever give those men attention. And that's why they tend to build resentment against the women that they can have, because they want that quote unquote virgin, but they can't have her because she already sees through what his intentions are. Meanwhile, they aim for the girls who lack standards or can't see through their games, and they'll play with them and then they'll hurt them because they basically they don't respect them, essentially. And that's also symptomatic of how they're not masculine.
I think it also shows like a level of like immaturity and just like irresponsibility for like, because sex for a woman is very different for sex for a man, in the sense that we can have kids, right? That's a big thing. You know, not to mention all the other things that, I mean, men can also have, but I mean, I think that's just extremely irresponsible.
But I would say when it comes to chastity, I would say that the reason that both sexes value chastity is for the same reason. Women don't want a man to be looking at another woman that's sexually provocative and thinking, oh, well, you know, let me just lack discipline and go after her, and vice versa. Men don't want a woman who's going to be emotionally led astray by a man and then give him sex, all in the attempt of getting him to like her, or in an attempt to basically say, oh, you've flared up these emotions in me, that means that now I have to give you sex or whatever.
I agree. Yeah.
So for those of you, actually, we'll just go around the table on this. Body count does not matter. What's your body count? Starting with Zombri.
Can I ask a clarifying question first?
Sure.
Is that like, do you mean like penetrative sex or like foreplay or anything like that?
Penetration.
I would say penetrative sex too, but I like. I don't know.
When the P goes in the V.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does kissing in middle school count?
That's literally
I was dating someone for 5 years, from 17 to 22, so mine is only 6.
Okay.
How old are you now, sorry?
26.
I lost track, honestly. I don't know if I like. I don't have a journal where I wrote down all the names, so I literally have absolutely no clue.
Like if you had to give a range, like an estimate.
Like I literally don't know. I have no clue if it would be like 30, 100, or over that. Like I have no clue.
Well, do you think it's over 100?
Possibly. I'd have to like do hella math. I was dating someone for 4 years, but from like 15 to 19, like I don't know. There was like at one point where I was on Tinder and I was doing it like every week. There was one time I did it twice in one day with 2 different guys. So I don't know. Like when I was younger, I was out here. But yeah, I don't know. Couldn't please switch that out. But like I have no clue what that number is. Really.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So no sense of a range.
Literally, it could literally be anywhere between 30 to like 200. Or like somewhere around
That's
30.
a big range.
That's
I stopped writing it down after 15.
Wait, into the mic if you can, but okay, it stopped writing down after 15. So okay, anywhere from 30 to
200.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Oh, I missed the numbers. That is a huge range.
Please, but if you're gonna talk, please do it in the mic. Go ahead. What about you?
I valued about the body count. I thought it was valid for the men to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just since we're going around the table, care to share the body count?
Sure, 1.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like 30.
Like 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's 4.
4.
Like 9.
I thought you did a whole basketball team.
No, I didn't.
Yo, it's Kat, her friend
No, I
gave it
didn't.
away.
You got to
I
put
said
that
I did
Chris
2.
Rock 7 dick curve.
I said I did 2, and then she did the rest. So.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real
Okay. What about you?
Let me see. Maybe about 8.
About 8. Okay. What about you?
I don't feel comfortable saying mine.
Oh, come on. You said earlier that you
Doesn't matter.
might have been a lot.
I don't want it to be out there.
Nobody watches this
Hers was
podcast.
30
Nobody
to
wa-
200.
no-
No
My
shame
ex is
over
gonna
here.
watch this.
No,
podcast.
nobody watches this podcast. Oh, your ex.
It's your ex,
Hunter
yeah.
already
Yeah,
knows though.
who cares?
Yeah.
I know, but he
Talk on
doesn't
that
want it
note.
out there. He doesn't
Wait,
want it
why
out
does
there.
he? But he's your ex. Why does he? He doesn't have a say
he's
on what's
irrelevant.
out
Are you
there.
still fucking him?
Yes.
Okay. Wait. Do you want to give a range? How about that? Is that more fair?
Just say under something.
It's around Kayla's.
Twins.
Ish.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
Carmen.
I do value it, but mine's 5.
Okay.
What was the question? That we do value it?
Oh
or-
no, just
No, what's your body
body
count?
count?
Oh, okay. I am a mythical virgin.
Oh, what?
The
mythical
like
virgin?
you know, like the unicorn. I'm the unicorn.
Like born again virgin?
No,
So are you actually a virgin or like? in
I've
your
never
head
had
you're a
penetrative
virgin?
sex.
Oh, period.
Oh.
Like period.
Oh.
Period.
At
I love
all.
that for you.
Give me-
Yeah, honestly.
Is that cat?
No.
No,
Wait,
I
how old are
trust.
you?
I trust you.
Her
I
first
trust
boyfriend was
that.
from Xbox Live. I believe her.
That's true.
No, those
Glad to see
Xbox
one to be
kids, they're
cat, I
penetrating.
think.
From
Yeah.
Canada.
I'm absolutely terrified of diseases.
Okay.
And
That's a
You
good
got
way
like
to
a
be.
phobia.
and so even though I messed around, I literally like that was like a big role for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to that really quick. But Angelica, what about you? Closer to the mic, please.
About like 14,575. I'm just kidding. I can count it on one hand.
Okay, everybody already knows.
Okay.